The Meagre Company, or the company of Captain Rainier Riel and Lieutenant Cornelis Michiels Blaeu, refers to the only militia group portrait, or Shooterstoek, painted by Frans Hals outside of Haarlem. Today the painting is in the collection of the Amsterdam Museum, on loan to the Rijksmuseum, where it is considered one of its main attractions of the Honor Gallery. Hals was unhappy about commuting to Amsterdam to work on the painting and, unlike his previous group portraits, was unable to deliver it on time. The sitters contracted Pieter Cotti to finish the work. Hals was originally commissioned in 1633, after the favorable reception of his previous militia group portrait, the officers of the St. Adrian Militia Company in 1633, in which all ensigns are holding flags and all officers are holding their weapons. The sergeants were shown, holding halberds to differentiate them from officers with spontoons. Hals seems to have initially intended an Amsterdam version of the same painting, beginning on the left with a smiling flag bearer wearing a flamboyant cut-sleeve jacket with lace and holding a flag in the color of the sash. Though it is impossible to tell on which side of the canvas Hals began painting, the light falls onto the figures from the left in the standard Hals tradition, and this is also why the most important figures are situated within the painting. Since each sitter paid for his own portrait, it is presumed that Hals began with the most important sitters in order to sell canvas room to other paying officers. Whether or not Hals did in fact start on the left or drew a sketch of the entire group at once, the flag bearer on the left in this painting has been painted in a remarkably flamboyant way from the tip of his hat to the toe of his boots. This was possibly to prove to the decision makers in Amsterdam that Hals was capable of painting a Shooterstoek in the Amsterdam style, which included the entire figure. In Haarlem, the civic guards were traditionally portrayed in the Nijshoek style of being cut off at the knee in 3/4 length portraits. The flag bearer is Nicholas van Bambiuk. Seated next to him are Captain Riel, with hat and commander's staff, and Lieutenant Cornelis Michiels Blaeu, balding and holding a spontoon. The further to the right, however, the less the two paintings resemble each other. In 1636 Hals was called to Amsterdam to finish the painting, but he refused, offering to receive the sitters in his Haarlem studio with assurances that they would not need to sit very long. His offer was refused, and Cotti was hired to finish the piece. Because the men are thinner than the men portrayed in other, later, Amsterdam Shooterstoek and hanging near this painting, the piece was later nicknamed the Meagre Company. Besides the ensign and the seated men, the names of the other officers are unknown today.